Hello, this week I have spent a lot of time working on product photos for my new release, which is coming out on the 21st of March, which is Tuesday. Sometimes I get questions about how I shoot and edit my pictures, so I thought while I'm doing it I would film it and tell you my process, because it's been a big learning curve throughout the past 2 to 3 years. And I thought it'd be helpful. I do want to start by saying that I do have a good camera. I have the Canon EOS 6D Mark II. I'm just reading it because I've forgotten what it was. I got this camera with a sponsorship when I applied for a grant to make videos a few years ago, and so that's how I was able to get the camera. I also use a lens which is a 50mm lens, and I got that secondhand from CEX, which was a bit cheaper. I think it was like £50 or something. But I do think you can probably get similar quality pictures by using your iPhone. It probably won't be exactly the same, but you can get great pictures, and I know a lot of people do use their phones for shooting photos of their products. I've got like all my notes written in front of me just so I don't forget, so if I keep looking over here then that's why. I think the main thing is to figure out what your goals are with shooting products and taking photos. I'm going to show you 3 different types of pictures with different goals in mind. One is trying to show a realistic representation of the actual product itself. One is more lifestyle centered. The final one is trying to tell a story with the product and captivate the audience through a different lens, rather than just being like, here's my product, it's cute, what do you think? Colour is a big deal to me. A lot of people that know me make fun of the fact that I never use colour, I never wear colour, and colour is quite scary. So I think about it a lot when it comes to product photography. This collection is all about spring and cherry blossoms, because that is the scent of my candles, and cherry blossoms feature in a few of my prints, so I wanted to include pinks in it. I've picked like neutrals, pinks, and a little bit of green to be featured across all of my product photos in some form. Not every product photo has green or pink in it, but they do have like a mix. I think that just makes it feel more cohesive, and people will be able to recognize that it's yours because you are creating a story with your pictures. So the realistic representation shoot was just about showcasing the actual candles themselves. The focus was the candles. I wanted to show the shape of them and the contours of the bodies, which was quite difficult because they are just white. They've got a few specks of like tea leaves inside of them, but white products are quite hard to shoot. My main rules for taking pictures like this is to have something in the background, something in the foreground, to have a variation of height in the image, and to use practical props to showcase the product itself. In this instance it was like matches and cherry blossom petals, because that's what the candle smells like. If you don't have any props, then you risk the picture being too boring. If you have too many props, then you risk it being distracting and a bit uncomfortable to look at. If there's no colour in it, especially if it's a white product on a white background or a black product on a black background, then it's hard to see. But at the same time, if you have too much colour, then it can be distracting and hard to see. So you can kind of see that I just used some flowers in the background, and the blurriness of them really worked well for this because I didn't want to focus too much on the flower. I wanted the focus to be on the candle. The next photo was the living situation, which was more of a lifestyle sort of shoot. I want my potential customers to think this is not just a candle, but a really nice piece of decor that looks really cute. The flowers in the jar bring in a different height, which is nice to look at, and the jar is full of matches, which again is like a nice little nod to the fact that it's a candle. Most of the stuff that I use as props are just things that I have lying around in the house. That little dish that the candle is sitting on is a pot that I use to put my utensils on when I'm cooking. I just gave it a rinse and used it as like a little dish. The final shoot is the story kind of thing. I kind of had this idea of creating a bit of background for an Instagram post. I think Instagram is a great way of showcasing your product photos because you can create some context with the caption and create a story around it. People like relating to things and people like having people to look at. So I wanted to include myself somehow in these photos. The candles are trans bodies, so I thought I would include my chest, which you can't really see in the blurred version, but you can see in the clear version of me in the mirror that I have top surgery scars, and the candle is someone with a binder on. The mirror gives a bit of interest to the photo and allows me to have my chest in the photo without being directly in front of it. The plan is to make a post on Instagram about my relationship to my body and being someone who is bigger and had to wear a binder in the past and my journey through top surgery. I think it's really important to talk about these things, and it gives the customer or my audience a bit of context around why I'm creating these and what these candles can mean to people. In this photo, the product works as an accessory rather than the main focus, which I think works because I have a lot of photos that I want to post on my Instagram. So I want some variety there, and I don't want to just be bombarding people with very straightforward pictures of my products. In terms of editing, I use Lightroom, which is an Adobe product, and Adobe can be quite expensive if you get the whole suite. I use Photoshop, Premiere Pro and Lightroom on a regular basis, so I think that is worth it for me. I tend to adjust the colors slightly and make sure things look bright and clear. When I'm shooting my pictures, I make it quite dim and dark so I don't risk losing any of the information of the photo if it's too overexposed, because you can't get that back, which is really annoying. I tend not to go overboard with the editing, especially not on imperfections on skin or scars or my face, unless I've got like dirt or dust on something that's really distracting and visible that I don't want to be there. I'll edit that out, but usually I don't really care. A lot of my brand is about being body positive as well, so it would be a little bit hypocritical if I edited my skin to be really smooth or any spots out of the photo. I'll be posting these photos on Instagram throughout the next 2 to 3 months, and so you'll be able to see them there. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you around. Bye.